Welcome, everyone. Today, we're taking a breathtaking journey across time, through battles, empires, revolutions, art, and philosophy, to discover the extraordinary history of the French people. From ancient warriors called the Gauls, to the rise of Charlemagne, the glory of Napoleon, and the birth of modern France, this is a story of courage, culture, and transformation. Let's begin at the very beginning. 1. The dawn of civilization. The first people of France. Long before France had a name, long before kings or cities, there were tribes. Humans living in caves and valleys thousands of years ago. Archaeologists have discovered prehistoric art in places like Lascaux, showing that the ancestors of the French were creative, spiritual, and deeply connected to nature. Then came the Celts, known as the Gauls, around 600 BC. They were brave warriors, divided into tribes, but united by common traditions, beliefs, and language. They farmed the land, worshipped their gods, and lived in wooden fortresses on hilltops. The Gauls were known across Europe for their courage and their resistance to outsiders. But then came a power that would change everything: the Roman Empire. 2. The Roman Conquest, the birth of Gallo-Roman culture. In 58 BC, Julius Caesar launched a campaign to conquer Gaul. After 8 years of war, he succeeded, defeating the heroic Gallic leader Vercingetorix at Alesia. Gaul became a Roman province. The Romans brought roads, cities, baths, aqueducts, and Latin, which slowly replaced the Celtic languages. The mixture of Roman civilization and Gallic traditions gave birth to something new: the Gallo-Roman people, ancestors of the modern French. For centuries, Gaul flourished under Roman rule, becoming a vital part of the empire. But as Rome weakened, new forces appeared from the north: the Germanic tribes, and among them, the Franks. 3. The rise of the Franks, the birth of France. In the 5th century, the Franks invaded Gaul. Their king, Clovis, united the tribes and converted to Christianity, a turning point in European history. Clovis founded the Merovingian dynasty, and the name of his people, the Franks, gave birth to the name France. Later, the Carolingians rose to power, led by one of the greatest figures in history, Charlemagne. Charlemagne built an empire that covered most of Western Europe, revived education, supported the church, and laid the foundations for medieval European civilization. When he was crowned Emperor of the Romans in the year 800, France stood at the center of power and learning. 4. Medieval France. Kings, castles, and knights. After Charlemagne's empire split, France faced centuries of war, feudalism, and change. The land was ruled by nobles and knights, and powerful kings emerged, like Hugh Capet, who began the Capetian dynasty in 987. Under their rule, France slowly united. Great cathedrals like Notre Dame de Paris were built, symbolizing faith and art. But the Middle Ages were not peaceful. France fought the 100 Years' War against England, a conflict that lasted from 1337 to 1453. It was during this time that a young peasant girl, Joan of Arc, rose to become a symbol of courage and faith. Guided by her visions, she led French armies to victory before being captured and executed. Her spirit, however, became immortal, inspiring generations of French people to come. 5. The Renaissance. Art, science, and culture. In the 15th and 16th centuries, France entered the Renaissance, a golden age of art and knowledge. Kings like Francis I supported artists, writers, and thinkers. French became the language of diplomacy and elegance across Europe. This was the era of Michel de Montaigne, Rabelais, and Leonardo da Vinci, who spent his final years in France. Palaces like Château de Chambord reflected beauty and imagination, the essence of French style. The French Revolution. Liberty, equality, fraternity. But by the late 18th century, the people of France had grown tired of kings and poverty. The country was ruled by Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette, while millions suffered under heavy taxes and famine. In 1789, the French people rose up, demanding change. The Bastille was stormed. The monarchy was overthrown. And from the cries of revolution came three powerful words that changed the world forever: liberté, égalité, fraternité. Liberty, equality, brotherhood. The revolution was violent, passionate, and transformative. It gave the world ideas of democracy and human rights that still shape societies today. Napoleon Bonaparte, the dream of empire. From the chaos of revolution emerged a young general, Napoleon Bonaparte. Brilliant, ambitious, and fearless. He led armies across Europe, creating an empire that stretched from Spain to Russia. He introduced modern laws, education, and administrative systems, many still used in France today. But his desire for power led to wars and finally his defeat at Waterloo in 1815. Yet, Napoleon remains one of the most iconic figures in world history, both admired and controversial. 8. Modern France, from republic to world power. After Napoleon, France faced monarchies, revolutions, and 2 world wars. It lost and regained territories, suffered under Nazi occupation during World War II, and then rose again as a democratic republic. Great leaders like Charles de Gaulle rebuilt the nation's pride and identity. France became a founding member of the European Union, a nuclear power, and a global center for culture, fashion, art, and innovation. 9. The spirit of the French people. What defines the French people today? It's their passion for freedom, their respect for culture, their love of art, food, and philosophy. From Paris, the city of light, to the villages of Provence and the vineyards of Bordeaux, the French spirit lives in every word, every song, every revolution, every dream. The history of the French people is not just a story of kings and wars. It's a story of ideas, of resilience, of a nation that never stops reinventing itself. 10. Conclusion. The legacy of France. Today, France stands as one of the world's most influential nations, a bridge between the past and the future. Its history is a mirror of human civilization, filled with beauty, conflict, and rebirth. From ancient Gauls to modern republicans, from Vercingetorix to Napoleon, from Joan of Arc to Marie Curie, the French people have shaped the destiny of the world. And as time moves forward, their legacy of freedom, equality, and creativity continues to inspire humanity. Thank you for watching this incredible journey through the history of the French people. If you love learning about world history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And tell us in the comments, which era of French history fascinates you the most? Until next time, vive la France!